What's up, everybody? Hey, if you're an agency using Go HighLevel, I know it's called HighLevel, but we all call it Go HighLevel. If you're using that software to grow your agency, this is for you, because we had an Ask Me Anything session where a lot of agencies who were at different phases of growth, some were trying to acquire their first customers, so they wanted to know what offers to make. Some were, scaling, so they wanted to know how to improve lead quality. These are the fun questions that we tackled in this 25-minute video. So you'll want to pay attention to this video because I'm going to give you some shortcuts to solving those problems so you can get to the next level a lot faster. Which, by the way, if you're new to the channel, we talk about agency content, about HighLevel, about UpHex specifically, and how to crush it with lead gen using our UpHex tool. So if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, grab that notification bell, and then that way you'll get notified every time a new piece of content drops. We'll see you on the next video.
Now, when it comes down to making offers, okay, because you asked two different questions. You said 3 different niches. What should I offer? Because we're not talking about a specific niche, I'm going to talk about 2 types of offers that I like to make. I am on record just saying, I'm not saying Alex took it from me. You said his name, by the way. I'm not saying Alex took it from me because I guarantee you he didn't. I think it's just a natural progression of what you learn as you go down this journey. Is he has 3 offer types in his new book, and I have 2, right? And the third one, I'm like, okay, well, that's basically pulling apart your bundle and giving them one. So that's good. I like that. So mine are this: a self-discovery offer and a test drive offer. I'm going to tell you what each one of those are. Cool. So we'll start with the test drive offer. That's the easiest one. Test drive offer is every business, like when you tell people what you do, you usually say, oh, I help people sell homes, help sell their homes fast, whatever. Well, you do more than that. If you were to sit with a piece of paper and deconstruct all of the different things that you do, you're like, okay, the first thing I do is I do a price analysis on the competitive homes in the area. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is I find out the unique pieces of this property. The third thing I do is I find out a way to add value to your property without you spending any money, right? I just go through this exercise. Now you, as a person who does this all the time, that's actually one of the hardest things to do, is to self-analyze and to break apart, deconstruct what you do. But each one of those tasks that your mind is going through is a line item, and that line item has its own unique value. Okay, so you can pull that apart and say, I make my money when people buy all of these from me, but that one right there, I'm going to use to attract people because it is compelling to them. It will get people in the door. So I'm going to give them a report on one thing that I see that's valuable about their house, that they can make an extra X amount of dollars by doing that one thing. That would be the way I would think about it. And then they get that thing and it's a test drive to work with me. Like when I do it with doctors, I say, all right, Mr. Doctor, you offer a non-surgical knee approach. Well, when you do that, you do an x-ray, you do some type of intake, you do some, there's all these different things. Do one of those, offer one of those as a test drive. So we do 1 session of knee decompression therapy. They're still getting the other things, but what they buy into, what the customer buys into, is trying out that unique approach to solving their problem, which is their knee pain. Okay. So that's a test drive offer. Now, most people are doing a version of that. That's a direct response. Here's the offer. Here's what you get. Self-discovery. What is the difference between an online quiz and an online survey? Anybody? A survey is for the information that comes from the survey, is the benefit of that information goes to the survey taker. There's no benefit in a survey to the actual person taking the survey. A quiz, on the other hand, reveals an answer, and that answer helps you discover something about yourself. One of the most prolific sales funnels that is available online today that is just crushing is, who knows 10X Gary Brecka? You guys know him? What is his self-discovery offer? What is the first thing that he talks about that gets you into, it helps you answer questions about yourself? A gene test. Dude, it is the most compelling thing because you're tapping into the What don't I know about myself? What are the hidden enemies? What are my hidden opportunities? What information is available that can help me solve my problem in a way that I'm not currently able to solve it? That positions your advertising itself as a value proposition. This is all about selling the thing that sells the thing. I don't want to get too high in the sky, but those are the concepts. Sell the thing that sells the thing. An example of a self-discovery offer. We used to, and we still do, we used to say for neuropathy patients, okay? If you guys don't know what neuropathy is, it's people who have numbness in their hands and feet, generally caused by diabetes. It's like nerve damage. What they do, and they all have these different symptoms, tingling, cold extremities, all these different things. What they don't know, okay, so we're tapping into that Gary Brackett thing. What they don't know about that problem is they don't know how bad it is, because eventually, if it goes far enough, it can result in amputation, and they know it, especially if there's discoloration. So what do we offer as a self-discovery offer? We offer a thermal scan. Come in, we'll give you a thermal scan, and the goal of that is to give you an answer that answers this question: how far down the line is your current condition, and what can you do about it, right? So that's all about, like, so in your niche, if we bring it back to real estate, you have conditions currently in real estate. So people are having their own thoughts about what's happening right now. Is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? What's the truth about interest rates? Are interest rates ever going to come back? Right? So these are all questions that if you provide answers, people will opt in just to get that information. And if you do it the right way, if you provide the right value up front, it should daisy chain into, well, I'm planning on putting my home on the market, so I'll just talk to Tom. Does that make sense? And that's why a lot of times when you see like reports, like get free report, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put a offer out there, put a value proposition out there that is compelling to people in the market, right? It's not an offer of take this thing, because that then becomes almost like a sales pitch, right?
Yeah.
It's what precedes the sales pitch, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the thing before the thing. Like
That's right.
you got to give them the one thing that they need to make that decision at that point, and then you already gave value, so they're more likely to go with you from that point.
That's right.
So, all right, that's cool. That sets my mind right for things I can offer, because like with doing real estate, you're right. It's hard to take myself out of it enough to realize, like, if I'm going to try to sell this position to other realtors and the ad spend and be able to use Facebook leads, like Facebook leads in real estate, I find are very poorly used from a lot of real estate agents. They just don't know how to do it.
Like here's a couple of just ideas to prompt you down that road. Like, let's say I was working with people who flip houses right now, right? Just as an example, I would put out a report or some type of data, and it would be good. It would need to be good. But I would say the top 5 things flippers are doing to compete in 2024 to achieve whatever outcome they're wanting, right? The top 5 things that are working right now. That answers the question why, and it makes it current to right now. And it tells them they're getting the top 5 things that are different from what was before to what is now, right? There was also another, I think they changed the rules about some type of financing for multi-housing, like FHA or something. There was something that rolled out a little while ago. That's a new thing. I would roll out a report that says how to take advantage of the new whatever thing that is, and the top 5 opportunities if you're doing this thing. Boom, you're gonna get a ton. That right there is actually a really good one. Now that I'm coming up with that one right there would absolutely work, right? So awesome. There you go. So I've never heard it termed as scope creep. I've heard feature creep, but feature creep is usually, that's kind of what I was warning Brad on. I'm like, watch out about feature creep. You basically start adding things to your package, and after a while, you're like, I got away from my core thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when customers are asking you, do you do a lot of custom work for people? Just at its core, right? Agencies only scale when you think of them as conveyor belt, right? Mm-hmm. When you make every process a repeatable process. That's like at the core of UpHex. It's like, if you look back at how did UpHex even come? It was because me and Jacob, whenever we would get to 25 to 30 customers, the wheels would fall off. And that was everything from, maybe scope creep was a part of that, but launching campaigns, optimizing campaigns, somebody misspelled this, going back and fixing quality control, all that stuff. And so all of these repeatable activities, because when we would go in and create an ad, it was the same buttons we were clicking. It didn't matter who the clinic in this case was. It was the same buttons every single time. And so our whole thing was, this function should be a repeatable function and should not require, in a perfect world, experience and education, which is what we had. And you couldn't, before UpHex, you couldn't do that. And so that was our whole thing of make this one media buyer function, repeatable, systemized, and just click and go. That same complexity should be applied through the entire agency, right? So how you deal with customer service, how they ask you for features like you're talking about.
I have done the same thing. So it's not like you're a dumbass, in your own words. It's kind of like these things happen naturally over time. I would just say, whoever the person is, like, okay, so tell me what you want to do, describe to me the outcome. We can't currently do that with what we have. Can I explain to you what it would look like? And then just maybe help her understand what it looks like to really actually do it. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
I appreciate you solving your own problem for yourself while I was having technical difficulties.
This is probably one of the funnest first 3 questions I've ever had. They go in a perfect chronological order. And the only reason I can answer these questions is because I started out like Tom, then went to Tamara, then went to Brad. Like, it's all the same problems. So first and foremost, let me just start with this. Marketing's job is to advance a sales opportunity. Sales job is to execute a sales strategy. The longer you do this, the more you will think you do just one, but you become a consultant for the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the people who win stay. And most business owners don't have the business chops. Most business owners do what, Michael Gerber talks about in the E-Myth. They have an entrepreneurial seizure. Like, I don't want to work for the man. I want to work for myself. And the man is making me clean houses. So I'm going to go clean houses and I'll charge this many bucks or whatever it is. I'm going to do that. They get stuck in a core offer and that's all they know how to do. Okay. Just like we think marketing is our only job, we have to understand there's acquisition, there's fulfillment, and they each have their strategy. Let me walk you through this in your exact scenario. So the offers that you're using are designed to do what?
Get basically the first time clean.
Yes. And what are the challenges of your particular niche? There's no fancy way of cleaning. Like, there's no method of cleaning, which means it's a commodity. And what is the problem with commodities? What's the really only thing you can offer when it's a commodity? A discount. If I can drive down the street and if I can say an oil change is $100, if I can write down the price within a reasonable range of a thing, it's a commodity. It has a price associated with it. So the only thing I can do, the only play in the playbook that I've learned, now maybe somebody smarter than me, totally fine, is a discounted price. That's how you acquire a customer. So the reason you're using the leads that you're using is because that's the only play in the book. If you're a commoditized service, which is why I always say, help your customers decommoditize, help them niche down, help them specialize, because we can play around with a lot more offers, the more specialized they are, right? So I might be looking at, I know nothing about cleaning, but cleaning green or cleaning with pets, whatever it is, like those types of layering on those things. Do you have kids with allergies? I have no idea, right?
Yeah.
But I would be taking cleaning and going more narrow. That way I can increase the value of my thing. Because if I go with a regular cleaning company and they don't use this certain thing that gets rid of allergies, my kid has allergies, but my one kid wants a cat. See what I mean?
And that's like the hard part with cleaning. I think I've come into is there's so many cleaning companies. Like, one client I have in Vancouver, there's 2,500 registered cleaning companies just in his service area. What?
Which ones make the most money? Profit margins.
Which cleaning companies? that I found
Cleaning companies,
window
which type?
cleaning.
Answer
Window
that question
cleaning.
and you'll find your niche.
Yeah, I think too. I'm gonna niche down more now that winter's over, because like I'm kind of doing all cleaning: house cleaning, carpet cleaning, window cleaning, the tough one.
I mean, just like for a total off the wall example, mold remediation, you know how much that cleaning company is going to get paid? A lot more than the one that's cleaning your toilets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the more specialized you can go. Okay. So then on the back end, whatever niche you choose, you can then help them create a sales strategy, right?
Yeah.
Help them understand, hey, you don't make money by taking sales a la carte the way you've been doing.
Yeah.
The way you do it is you offer this discounted thing, and then you roll out this bonus offer with a thing. When you sign up for our monthly cleaning services, our normal price is this. We give it to you this, and we layer on pop, pop, pop. You come up with that offer, you give it to them, and now you give them a sales and conversion tool that helps them build a foundation of revenue. In my agency, most of the clinics that we work with, they have unoptimized case fees, or they take money per visit. Both of those things will kill a business. There's a better strategy. So we say, if your case values are under $1,000, we'll help you get to 3,000. I'll help you make money regardless of my marketing. I'll help you make money regardless of that. I'll just give you the proper way to approach your customers, the right scripting, the right discovery methods, all that stuff. Give you that, boom, now you're making more money. So they win, I win because they stick around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good attack. And that's what I've talked with them about is, we'll get you the one-time cleaned, and then we'll set up the, in 7 days, they get a text message. Hey, we haven't been to your house for because usually people are bi-weekly. So we have started to build that strategy, and then also build it where as soon as somebody completes a one-time clean, the homeowner gets a text message saying, hey, just finished your job, like your house. You want to schedule the next one right now for this discount. Try to get them into those first 3 positive experiences is like the idea they'll be a lifetime customer. So
yep. Try and find out like what do the most successful cleaning companies do. Maybe they have a referral protocol, because if you have a discount offer on one customer, but then there's a referral protocol, because they all know people in their same price point. Like if you get a person that makes X amount of dollars per year, they're having somebody clean, they've got friends that are the same, right? They run in the same crowds. If you had a referral protocol, we turn one customer into 4 or one customer into 3. That's our sales protocol. So you go backwards on this one, you go forwards on the other 3. So just that, like referrals, upsells, bundles, retention, whatever it is, be thinking along those lines. Those are sales strategies, by the way, business strategies. Those are not marketing strategies. So you're learning both pieces of the pie.
Yeah, I think I need to focus more on, because I think of that all the time and I have plans. I think I need to do more of that and less of holding these coaching calls that nobody comes to, and just like
why does nobody come to the coaching calls?
Probably because nobody said they needed them to begin with.
Okay, so when I was talking about do your course, before we started recording, I was talking about doing it by weeks.
Yeah.
If you give people a finish line they can see, they'll run the race.
Yeah.
If there's no end in sight, they're not going to even start the race. So you make week 1, we're going to referral protocol, boom. Week 2, run each race independently, and then come to those meetings to ask questions and get clarity on those things. See what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you grow your business? 1 week at a time, in the right order.
Yeah, and I think we're doing that, just not trackably. Like we'll like set stuff up, and then I'll reach out a little bit. Hey, you want to try turn on the reviews now? But I think if I jot it down, they have a map.
Words matter too. Like words matter, right? Module 1 or week 1.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, or is it?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So we've got a theme here today. Like we've got a theme of where people are at and their journey and the different problems that they're kind of running up to. This is we have a program called Agency Launch. You should consider it's $300 one time. I'll post the link here in a minute, but these questions that you're asking about, like niche, offer, price, all that kind of stuff, stem from one problem. Now, there's been a lot of you that have been here for a while. What am I going to say? Marcin smiled. Go ahead, Marcin. Go ahead and say it.
Not being focused enough.
Sub niche, right? A
Sub
lot of
niche.
people think, for example, like real estate is not a niche, it's a category. And we need to get down more narrow to be able to have the conversation that makes sense for the right person. I have a couple of sales training where I talk about this example. I started a mortgage. I don't know if you know that. Like back in 2004, I started a mortgage company, I think. And when I got started into mortgage, I was in real estate. I was in the category, but I was young. I was like 23 or whatever. Nobody wanted to send their deals to a young loan originator. And I would go to sit at all these real estate agent offices and I'd flip, those real estate magazines. I'd be flipping through. I'd be like, dude, this person will never send me their business because they sell $500,000 homes back then, which was like really expensive. It's like, oh my gosh. And then I came to this one lady. She worked with first-time home buyers. She spoke Spanish. I speak Spanish. And I knew that these particular home buyers would need government financing. I went 3 layers deep. So I called her up and I said, Christina, my name is Sam Carlson. It looks like you work with first-time home buyers who speak Spanish. I'm guessing you have a lot of people who are not getting approved because of the government financing programs. I specialize in this. If you need any help, I'm here to help. And you don't have to translate for me because I speak Spanish. Boom, 5 deals that day. All because, and by the way, I had I don't know how long it was. It felt like forever. Just going to like rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection of agents just saying, you're like 23, you're a punk. Like, what can you offer that this guy here who's been doing mortgages for a decade and he can get my deals through Streamline? I was a charity case. And self-admittedly, I was brand new.
I can relate to that because I was, when I was in my mid 20s, I was a real estate agent for 7 years, 23 to almost 30. And I've thought about that. Right now, I'm thinking about real estate agents, residential real estate agents, but you're saying to niche down even more than that. And so the other 2 that I've thought about this already is go for high-end agents who do, high-end real estate, or on the other spectrum, go for the newbie real estate agents.
Which one do you want to go for?
I mean, I see the advantages with both of them. I think there's a lot more newbie agents that probably are looking for answers. But then it goes back to the question I asked you. They're broke, right? Most of them are broke. What can they afford?
Let's just for the sake of exercise, just to do the exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're new real estate agents. Is that narrow enough, do you think?
I think
not.
so.
I'll just tell you, no, it's not.
Huh?
Not to be too direct, but it's not narrow enough. Still have a hard time talking to them. Let's go more narrow. Let's say we want to focus with new real estate agents that want to focus only on helping sellers or buyers. Pick one.
Okay.
You're in the real estate niche. Which do you like better? Which do you feel more capable?
Probably sellers.
Okay, sellers. All right. Now let's talk about what types of sellers. Maybe there are people who are relocating. Maybe there are people who are military people. Military people have different needs for their entire transaction is different. Like they need VA financing. They have different opportunities. You see how every individual, I just had Pat Flynn on my podcast or on my YouTube channel like a month ago. You know who Pat Flynn is?
Mm-mm.
He's a very well-known affiliate marketer. He's like the first guy to do it. He and John Lee Dumas started posting their earnings like 15 years ago online, showing how much money they were making from different things. And Pat Flynn said on that video, he said, whenever somebody's new, there's one repeatable action they must do. One person, one problem, one solution, right? And he literally meant one person. So with your background in real estate, there are so many things that you know, but let's just say you and a new real estate agent, brand new, met for coffee. And they're like, hey, Mike, I really just want to hit the ground running. I know that you've already blazed a trail before me. Where shouldn't I go? And where should I go? What is the curated path? What are the steps? How can I eliminate the guesswork? And that right there, that statement right there, that last one is probably the actionable thing that we should all do. How do we eliminate the guesswork and give our customers a shortcut? I hate that word, that term shortcut. I need something else other than that. But how can we give them a shortcut to an outcome, right? So that solving that problem then becomes very simple because it's clear, right? Complexity causes confusion. Simplicity, that is where all the money is. You can solve simplicity. Problem is, if you're trying to solve too broad of a problem, man, there's just too many strings you can pull on and you'll never know if you fix it. Every agency finds themselves starting out narrow, and then the better they get at that thing, they're like, dude, here's what I've learned. All of the things that I did for this narrow audience, I can duplicate in a more broad audience, and then a broader audience. It all works, right? I started out with chiropractors. Then I went to regenerative clinics. Then I went to osteopaths. Then I went to med spas. Then I went to boom. I can help them all.
Yeah.
It's the same repeatable process, right? So don't worry so much about creating an offer until you've really narrowed it down to a sub niche, like really, really, really narrowed it down.